Hey, it's TTKB and we're doing another Syrupy, add some butter and don't hold out on the bananas for fuck's sake review for another random minigame that caught my interest. This time around it's Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. So what is Momodora? Well, it's Symphony of the Night. Oh, bam. Good. We're good? Everybody okay with that? We like that one? Pack the shit up! Oh, okay, serious time now, though. Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is the fourth game in the Momodora series and serves as a sequel to the rest, so don't worry if you didn't know there were others, it's not too late. It's an action-adventure game in the vein of Castlevania a la Igarashi. I'm not saying Metroidvania, that's fucking redundant. Listen to me when I tell you it's fucking redundant. Stop it. Stop saying Metroidvania. It's a stupid term. There are better. Say something else. I don't know. You know. With a few pleasant deviations. Kaho, a young priestess from the village of Lund, must travel to Car City in an attempt to meet with the queen and find a way to save her home from an encroaching darkness. Equipped with a souvenir from the gift shop up in Montreal. Have you ever been to that one at the airport? Yeah, it's the same maple leaf you can get everywhere. Kaho must fight a plethora of enemies to reach her goal, ranging from mistral dog demons and witches to midgets with knives. I'm telling you though, they'll cut your knees out from under you quicker than you can say I used your mother like a condom last night. Which is why they would cut your knees. Obviously, that don't say that. While the game follows the recent trend of pixelated 2D graphics, the animations for every character are very immaculate, adding a bit more life to the place, which, it badly kind of needs, considering Car City is this undead, unholy massacre. The setting and characters of Momodora, while reminiscent of some of the tropes you'd find in a dark fantasy adventure like this, manage to simultaneously subvert them rather well. Kaho is pretty much the chosen hero, but is also a priestess, a character class usually confined to a support role rather than main character. An evil witch and her toady are running around ruining the city for everyone, but the toady actually doesn't seem too incompetent, and the witch isn't the main antagonist. And I might just be used to this next one being more apparent in recent JRPGs or certain beloved ones of mine, but rather than representing an evil cult bent on brainwashing the civilians, the religion present is actually a safe and welcoming band of nuns in a beautiful monastery. Though I still don't fucking trust them. The greedy bastards. They're fucking greedy as hell. Goddamn, I gave you 15. You need another? I'm the only one living who has any currency. Meanwhile, Car City is at first this undead city similar in tone with Dracula's castle, but expands outwards into this mixture of different landscapes with their own extremely diverse look and feel. In some ways, the locales and how they're designed actually remind me of a cartoony Bloodborne. In fact, there are quite a few things that remind me of Miyazaki's approach to design present in the game. Gameplay is much slower / heavier than an Igavania. See, that term is fine. Shut up. That's a fine. You could say Igavania. That's actually, it describes what you're talking about without saying the same fucking thing twice. It's Igavania for 2016. Maple Leaf combat starts off rather simple with the standard ground strike, ground combo, and air strike. After a few boss fights, your moves and abilities start to increase, but don't expect to wow your foes with any crazy Alucard level maneuvers. Kaho also has a bow and arrow for range combat, which can be augmented with pickups and boss loot along the way. There's also a friendly bear merchant selling items that produce passive or active effects when used or equipped. However, you'll want to search every nook and cranny of the map because he's not always just hanging out in plain sight. As you make your way through the city, several prayer bells appear to serve as a place to save and warp to other areas. But the best thing about these bells is that your health and items replenish whenever you use one. Why hello my sweet bonfire, how I've missed you! It's no secret that this aspect of Momodora is a complete ripoff of Dark Souls. I mean, just watch the healing animation. What am I doing? But thankfully, the game didn't just shoehorn this aspect in, and is instead built around it. While a good few enemies can be fought by diving in headfirst with no strategy, several regular baddies and bosses have set patterns that you should learn to beat each fight unscathed. And you'll want to avoid getting hit as much as possible, because every enemy can kick your ass in an assortment of ways. And I was playing on normal. Yeah, If I had to say there was an issue with this amalgamation of ideas, it would have to be in level design. While Igavanias have a certain sense of areas looping back on one another, they have nothing on Dark Souls shortcuts. Backtracking through several areas to get to a locked door was due course in something like Symphony of the Night, but past this certain plot moment, Dark Souls allowed way more freedom in where the player could go. It often came down to the player's skill more than anything else. So it's a bit of a nuisance to see that Momodora chose to borrow the gameplay mechanics of Dark Souls, but exchanged the free exploration style for the progression block heavy style present in Igavania. Which I would normally be fine with. Like, I love Symphony of the Night, I love Igavanias, those are great. If it weren't for the enemies being designed around player skill and not character leveling. I felt a bit cheated whenever I defeated the boss of an area and tried to proceed further in that direction, only to find some random object or force field I could do nothing about blocking my path. This is slightly alleviated by the ability to warp between save points, but you'll be pretty far into your playthrough before warping is even available, so meh. After all is said and done though, Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is a beautiful, challenging experience that was a lot of fun to play. It's a solid game with an interesting mix of Castlevania and Dark Souls design choices. On the hardest difficulty, this game can last anywhere from 6 to 10 plus hours, while easy and normal difficulty could have you clocking under the 5-hour mark. But for the $10 price tag, I'd say it's definitely worth your time. So, I made an idiotic rating system, didn't I? Okay, yeah, so since I made that dumb system, and I guess I'll give Momodora 4.5 out of 5 delicious pancake stacks. Give me the syrup. I'll see you guys next time.